thought this would come out. I think I called it in my previous video, but this is Power Rangers Super Megaforce, the extended battle or extended episode, whichever one. Okay, so I previously recorded this, but I didn't like it the way it was, the lighting was, because it was so dark and the studio lights were horrible, but that's enough of that. We're talking about the Power Rangers Extended Cut, which was the extended version, Legacy Battle, extended version, whatever it's called, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm not going to go over the entire episode again because it's the same sort of points I would have brought up in the last two videos of these reviews, but we're going to talk about the extended parts, the parts that they kind of didn't put in, but they should have put in, and they should have released this one more, better, I don't know, we'll find out. If you don't know, it's the Wrath and Legacy Battle combined, and that was not too bad. They could have kind of not combined it and probably just released an entire episode of the Legacy Battle, or Legend Battle, I keep saying Legacy because of the toys, the Legend Battle, which would have been more sense, and you could have had more coming out there. But we'll carry on with it. The main part where I noticed the changes was when you had Levira fighting the Rangers, and the battle scenes of like the Rangers seemed a lot more longer, and this was cool because it actually flowed a lot more, I think, a lot more flowy, which you'll hear a lot, like I used to say detail, but it was a lot more flowy. It didn't seem rushed, and it didn't seem like random cuts everywhere. There was one thing I didn't notice is when they transform into these Rangers and you have like Red Mighty morphing, apparently if you looked at his suit at one point there was a rip in it. So the power wasn't great with you that way, but it was a little bit ripped and it wasn't bad. Oh, and also they had the Sun Vulcan key when Troy goes, let's Ranger up, and it pulls up a Sun Vulcan key and then transforms into Mighty Morphing Red. So does that mean technically that Mighty Morphing Red is actually Sun Vulcan in the Power Ranger universe now? No, I know it's not, but it was fun to see this key coming up. And that was mainly the extended part of that episode. It just seemed more action-y than normal. And they still put in, which I thought they would have cut so they could save a little bit of time, the part where the Gokaijas fall out of the Megazord. So effectively, 5 Rangers go in, 10 Rangers come out. So you could say that the Megaforce Rangers or Gosei Rangers were in there. And then you had the Gokaijas. So, but either way, that part was fine. We're switching to Legendary Battle. I don't know why I keep saying Legacy. The Legendary Battle. The only extra really stuff that you had was some of the cameos. And first of all, you have Tommy when he jumps down onto the car and he's saving the kid. And the kid is like, I can't do it. And then he pulls him out. And he's like, yeah. And then he just goes, you can be a superhero too one day, because you're brave enough to be a superhero. And I know what's going to happen is later on when people start creating memes like they did with that kid Freddy in Power Rangers the movie saying, make this kid a Power Ranger, it needs to be done. I bet those memes start popping up, and if they do, I started it because I turn around and actually mention it. But I can see people turn around and say, make this kid a Power Ranger when he's older, but maybe the kid might not want to be a Power Ranger, maybe he might be doing something else. Either way, that was the only part of the cameos that I noticed that were extended. Maybe a little bit of Dana and Carter, but now I didn't know this when I was watching some other reviews of from other people. They noticed that Dana was running in high heels, and you kind of think that she'd be wearing pumps or trainers in that sort of situation, and not a miniskirt and thing. I just pulled the miniskirt out thing, but without the shoes. Oh, I was going to do that. Like, yeah, I've got my shoes on. The fighting skills, again, it just seemed a lot kind of in motion and not cut really badly. One thing I liked is when Gia actually combines 2 sabers together and actually as she spins around, it actually fits in that footage, rather than it be kind of sloppy and be like, oh, hang on a minute, this is going to change. It was actually just seemed quite straightforward and nice. There were more shots of Orion fighting, as well as Troy, where you had the Super Mega Blast constantly, or Mega Super Battle Slash, whatever it's called, literally just constantly just using that. And then also having Emma, did I say Emma? Emma having more fight time as well. So it just seemed like it was stretched out, but it wasn't cut, and it just ran really, really well. One thing that I didn't expect until I actually saw the clips was they actually used the Dragon Shield. And one thing I laughed is when Orion goes, hey Troy, take my Dragon Shield. And Troy's like, yeah, thanks Orion. Mighty Morphing Power Rangers. Ah! Part like that. There was a meme apparently a while ago, and it said, you won't see this in your Super Megaforce. So whoever made that meme, if you're watching, it was, I like that. I was like, oh, I couldn't find the meme anymore. It's gone, or it's somewhere hidden, but I can't find it anymore. If you can find it, please link me in the bottom so I can be like, ha 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 again. No, I'm not being mean or anything, but it just, having that come up, and you know, it's interesting that they put this sort of footage in there. So the fight scenes were more extended. Troy and Orion, they talked to the team rather than just running off and actually getting into the ship or a brief explanation. You actually see the team running off, actually going like running towards the bad guy, and they seem to start fighting naturally. Again, it wasn't like we're going to cut this out and cut that out and then just kind of paste it together. And it was just interesting to see how this would work, and it flowed really nicely. And again, this is what we wanted from the beginning, not what you had originally. It comes to the point when Troy and Orion are fighting against the Emperor, and they kind of extended a little bit more into this, but before we jump into what they extended, you see that when you see Troy shooting down the other ships straight away. The crab monster, who I don't know what his name is, we'll just call him General Crab or General Fish Face. General Fish Face seems a lot more interesting. He looks up and he's like, what? And that's when the Rangers shoot the super mega cannon and they fire it off at him, and he's like, no! But when they say, yeah, finally they've done that, you see Noah looking up, and it isn't just a cut to the ship. He actually looks up quite nicely, and it doesn't seem kind of forced. It's just a natural progression. And then this is when Troy and Orion are actually now on the ship. When they're on it, the Emperor Marvero, when he slashes them, he actually knocks them into the actual top part of the ship, and you see Orion demorph. I didn't actually really notice Orion demorphing or losing his super gold mode, what it is. I didn't actually notice this whatsoever, so that's really good. You see him just demorph, and they're on the floor, and then again, they basically kill off the Emperor. So that was cool to see that part of the extended clip. This part I actually called, and this is, I didn't realise, and I was like, yes, finally. Okay, so yes, the day before it was actually premiered, I said, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they used all the Rangers attack against the Emperor like they did in Gokaiger? And they did, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. But what they did was they didn't just do every single mode that they had available. They actually cut it down to actually using Power Ranger actual Rangers, not apart from one which is Squadron mode, which I kind of link into with the White Ranger, so I wasn't really like about that. But he did say something quite interesting. When he goes like Battalizers, it means that they had SPD, you had Jungle Fury, Megaforce, like the first part, and Samurai. I'm missing one other one, Mystic Force. Now they class us as Battleizers. Now does that actually mean that they are Battleizers now? Because they've said it in canon rather than say Super Rangers or Powered Up Rangers. They say Battleizers. Now you haven't really seen that many Battleizers at all in Power Rangers. I think the last time you actually saw it was in possibly, I'm guessing, Operation Overdrive. Or something like that, or maybe RPM, I don't know. That's pretty much the last time you saw the Battleizer system. So it's a really nice nod to the past Rangers that actually had Battleizers, and thank you very much for putting that in, because I think that was a really nice kind of nod to the fans. So you got all the other things, they're all attacking, they're all defeating the Emperor, and one thing I did notice, this is going a little bit back, was the Gold Ranger was Jake, and you think that would have been Orion, but no, it was Jake. I like that. Yay, Jake. Jake's probably one of my favourite characters in that show. So after the Emperor's like, you can't destroy me, I'm going to fall down and die. Orion jumps up and impales him with the super mega cannon. How many times do you see actually a Ranger go, do you know what, have that in the chest, and then bam. And this, I didn't think they'd put it in. I thought they would have maybe had it just before him and then fired into it, but it was really nice. You don't really see much impaling in Power Rangers. I think Dino Thunder and possibly Super Megaforce with the Emperor or anything like that. If you know any more like that, put it down in the comments. What else we got? Now, one thing I noticed, and I don't know if they did this in Japan, when the Rangers are on the floor going, oh god, you're resting, obviously it's the Japanese thing, so I don't know if they actually got people dressed in the in the Megaforce clothes in Japan, so they actually just refilmed that in shot, or if they superimposed them. If not, I don't know, but it looks like they actually got people in Japan to actually dress as the Megaforce Rangers and actually just take the whole, you know, the last battle part, the last explosion. The only extended parts in the Legendary War were only a few things, and it was a few more, like one more cameo. Well, it was not really a cameo. So when the Rangers come down, they're like, you know, thanks for happening, blah blah blah, and they go like, oh, do you want to take the lead? And they go, yeah. So they pull out the helmets, and then it takes ages, like, I think all of them actually hold the helmets up like that, which again kind of spans it out. And then Karone turns around and goes, I love being a Power Ranger. And as she's putting a helmet on, you saw it as Astronomer. I think I said Astronomer, but I think I said it right. But anyway, that was awesome. I always have problems saying Astronomer, but you know what I mean. This was really cool because at first I was like, what? Why? I don't understand this. Why is this working? Why is this in this? You know, it seems really weird that they put that in there. But after speaking to a few friends, with this, the explanation they gave me was simple. It was, she was the one who started the invasion, or was the last person to do an invasion towards Earth on a grand scale. And this was her way of saying, I'm now kind of beating the invasion that's in front of us. That, I thought, was perfect when they said that. And then I looked back and went, oh yeah, I get it. That's actually really cool. I like that. Well done, guys. So that was a really nice nod, and that took me by surprise, which I think is a very good thing if any TV show does that, to kind of surprise the fans, go, look what we just put in, haha. But then that also means that they got her in the makeup and the wig and stuff. That's awesome, that is cool. Oh, it would have been cool if she was actually leading the army and going, I'm back, Rangers, like, oh my god. Andros would have had something to say about that. And the last part was the Wild Force Rangers jumping in, and you hear Troy going, nice job, Wild Force. That was it. That was pretty much every single thing that I could see that is extended, that was noticeable. If they didn't, oh my god. So yeah, I have no gripes about this episode. I think I have one or two, or should I say, I have a few slight gripes. First main gripe, I think, is this should have been the one they had, but I'm guessing due to restrictions on Nickelodeon, they had to show like a cut version. But I think that if they were to make a cut version again, they could just easily have added stuff to kind of make it look smoother, and then kind of taking things out. One thing I would have taken out is Tommy's cameo as the White Ranger, because to be honest, you don't really need that. From a film point of view, as well as an audience member, when I looked at that scene and then when he came back as the Green Ranger, I was like, wow, you don't need this. You don't need to have this White Ranger in, because why is he the Green Ranger? That was simple, as I would have taken that out completely, had it as a deleted scene on the DVD, but taking him out and just having him come as Green Ranger, because I think that would be more epic, rather than just like, oh, you're the White Ranger. Apparently, I think there was a fight scene included, but I don't know why they didn't put it in, of Tommy going from green to white to green. That would have been cool to see, I think. They did still have the mess up of him as the green Samurai Ranger from Ninja Storm. I don't know why they didn't fix that. I'll go, oopsie. One scene that I would have put in at the very end was the Rangers actually talking to Gosei, because he's going to want to say, thanks very much, guys, you've done a really good job, Earth's safe. And then he could have just given the Morpher back, all the Morphers back, and said, these will be here for you if the time you need, it will call you, or you can keep my face. But this, I didn't understand why they didn't have him saying thank you very much. It just seems like, yeah, finish, bye, and walk away. So I don't know if that's going to be something extended on the DVD cut or something. And it would have been funny, and I would have loved to have trolled everyone, is at the very end you've got Jake going, so Gosei, you said you were going to tell me why I was the Green Ranger. And he goes, yes, Jake, the time has come. There's a simple explanation for that. And then cut to black. That would have been the ultimate troll, and I would have loved that. I think that would have been a nice touch, and it would show that the fandom's being kind of like monitored or watched by Saban, so they could go like, yeah, we'll put that joke in. That would have been cool. Or the memes, as all the memes. So yeah, I think that would have been nice to actually have in at the very end. And this kind of like pumped me up for Dino Charge. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I've seen the trailer, it looks okay, but I'm now going to watch the series, and I'm going to see if it's any good, and I'll probably review it. I never watched Q Ranger, I think I said that right. I never watched that, so it'll be quite nice just to talk about it and see it from a point of view, and I might watch it, I don't know. But either way, this was the episode that I wanted to show on Nickelodeon. I wanted this to be the finale, and I'm happy with what they've shown us. It showed that they were listening. They said that they wanted to show something different, and again, I'm hoping this pops up later on. Even if they have to cut it and then show it in 2 parts for broadcast reasons. But I really enjoyed this. I thought this was an awesome episode and possibly one of the best in the series. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? Have you seen it? What did you think? Leave the comments down below. And if you could change 1 or 2 things, what would it be and why? And not the, well, I'd stop the entire series. It has to be something that you would see that you could add in. Like I've just said that Jake asks why he was the Green Ranger. From Black. So let me know down below in the comments, and if you've liked this video, like, favourite, comment and subscribe. Check out Yada Games and all that lovely goodness, and thanks for watching guys, and as always, I'll see you in a bit.